March 2009. So since that took place, we released all the 2009 PNCIMA forum proceedings, presentations, and videos. We've launched a new PNCIMA initiative website. I believe all those materials are on that website. We released a document called Issues, Challenges, Opportunities, and Discussion Paper, and I think copies of that were at the back. Some of you may have already picked up a copy of that document. And we've also held up a number of follow-up meetings with different interested and affected parties. We've initiated a socioeconomic and cultural overview and assessment report. And we held a workshop in Prince Rupert in February, which I know some individuals here attended that workshop. And the basic purpose of that workshop was to obtain community feedback and some input into that socioeconomic overview document. And we've also developed a draft engagement strategy, process overview and content, and which is what Neil will be giving us a presentation on when I'm finished. So our current priorities are with the PNCIMA engagement strategy. We released the draft strategy and holding these meetings, the first of several public meetings we're having. The strategy will be then revised based on the input that we received from these meetings, and we'll begin sort of implementing a plan, and we're targeting June of this year. So the PNCIMA planning process design is sort of the next current priority, and this is refining the steps, timelines, and work plans for the planning process. This is a fairly very important piece of work, and we're hoping to have that done by June as well. And then the socioeconomic cultural overview and assessment, the SACOA report. We hope to complete the report and have it publicly available in April, May of this year. So where are we going? This is just a very this sort of shows the steps that we have see in the next few years for the PNCIMA process. So for this year, we're going to finish the stakeholder engagement workshops and then eventually publish our engagement strategy. And then we'll develop terms of reference for the planning process. Work on defining ecosystem-based management, coming up with a definition for ecosystem-based management. And we're also planning to hold a second PNCIMA forum in Prince Rupert in the fall of this year. In 2011, we're going to be developing our ecological and socioeconomic objectives and indicators. This is assuming the planning process has started, and we're kind of in the doing active discussion and dialogue. And we'll also be identifying strategies and management measures. This includes spatial management plans, best management practices for achieving those objectives. Come 2012, we're hoping to be drafting our integrated management plan and conducting public consultations on it. And that would be leading to having a draft plan that would be submitted to, in this case, Minister of Fisheries and Oceans for approval. So that's just a bit of an idea of where we're going with this process. So that's just a bit of an update and overview for everybody. And I know there'll be time for further questions as we go throughout the evening. But I understand Russ is going to give a presentation on the marine planning process he's been working on.
Nice. Let's go to your How would it be if we have two overview presentations, Russ's and Bruce's, which kind of give you the update on what's been going on with the whole coast and then what's going on specifically on Haida Gwaii. And then we open up for questions for say 10 minutes, and then move on to engagement strategy. Would that be okay?
You guys are calling the shots.
Well, I think I want to get to the meat, which is what's coming up after Russ's presentation. Thanks, Russ.
Yeah, so I'll try to go through this fairly quickly. I know there's a number of people have seen it. So I'm going to be presenting on what the Council Haida Nation has been doing over the past few years, preparing, for marine use planning. And I'm also going to be talking about the Haida Nation's objective of developing a marine use plan for Haida Gwaii waters. Bruce was talking about a larger area, the PNCIMA area. So I just want to make sure that, be clear that I'll be talking about what we're doing in PNCIMA, but also Haida Nation plans to develop a plan for Haida Gwaii. So this is a pretty cool photo of Haida Gwaii. It also shows part of the PNCIMA area, and it just kind of indicates kind of why it's important to have a marine plan. We have water on all sides of us. We depend on that area, and we need to look after it for future generations. So you saw this map already. This shows the larger PNCIMA area. So that's kind of the dark area. So the Haida Nation, as Bruce mentioned, is working with the Department of Fisheries and Oceans in partnership, to develop a marine plan for that larger PNCIMA area. It took a while to get where we are now. I guess probably one significant step was in 2008 when an MOU was signed to work together to develop that plan. And then last spring, the first PNCIMA forum took place in Vancouver.
Just back there. Okay, you've got the outline, the map of the area that PNCIMA takes in, but then that's one of 5. So are the other 4, are they part of coastal British Columbia as well, or is it? Like, I'm just wondering what the other 4 are.
There's the Beaufort Sea, so up in the Arctic, right? There's the ESIM area, which is the Eastern Ocean Shelf.
Okay, no, I thought maybe.
Is it Skidegate? Is another one?
Yeah.
And then there's the Great Lakes. Is that where's the Sable Island? Sable Gully. Yeah, so this is a fairly kind of significant step, for the Pacific. It's kind of, DFO is moving forward with the oceans, implementing the Oceans Act and developing integrated marine use plans, and they're starting with these pilot areas, right? So we're kind of right on the leading edge, here in northern British Columbia. Well, this slide that isn't there, it was there in the other version, so I'm not sure what happened to it. Yeah, because I checked it actually when I loaded on this computer and it was there. So this one shows the relationship between the Haida Nation, how we're working with First Nations of the North Coast and Central Coast, as well as kind of how we work with DFO. And so Bruce already mentioned a steering committee, and there's also the planning office, and so both the Haida Nation is involved kind of on both levels. Trevor Russ is the Haida representative on the steering committee. We're working